What's up? This place is packed. Alright. So I'm excited to share this poem with you guys. A little inspiration behind this poem is that last spring quarter, I was playing intramural soccer and I got headed in the face and I had a really, really bad black eye. Like really obvious. And so over the next few days of that week, everywhere I'd go, people all the time were like, Mark, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, do you need anything? I was sitting in Benson, and this random person I didn't even know came up to me and was like, dude, do you need ice? Like, how are you doing? And so all over the place, like, I just got overwhelmed by how many people were all the time asking me how I was doing. And so I kind of had the revelation that what would happen if we saw the black eyes and bruises of people's hearts, and if we lived with a little more compassion. So that kind of inspired this poem, and also a few conversations I've had this last week with people who kind of just say that sometimes they get a little frustrated with how superficial life can be pretty often, and they say they just long to have someone to talk to because of how relieving it is to just reveal how you're really doing. So those two things inspired me to write this poem like yesterday, so it's called Deeper. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good, I'm fine. What you up to? I'm playing Frisbee in February sunshine. We're watching TV, we're swapping CDs, studying together, discussing the weather, ragging on bad professors, talking about last week's rager, and stalking the hot next door neighbor through the window on Facebook. Or there's the alcohologic cycle. It's like the hydrologic cycle for kids at college, going round and round, the perpetual partying process. It goes at Monday and Tuesday, chilling in the ocean, looking forward to Wednesday night's coming commotion. Wednesday night evaporates the mind into another state. Then Thursday condensation is in anticipation for weekend fun. Friday night is here with plenty of beer, and down the rain comes. The reigning beer pong champ, shot sunk. The rain of tears from the emotional drunk. And Sunday is homework, and Monday is back to the ocean of ocean. Time to repeat the cycle again. So there's always stuff, much of it fine and fun, but for me it's not enough. I feel stuck in the shallow end of this pool of life. We're kids playing, getting wet, jumping off the little step, but I don't think I'm alone when I wonder what's deeper in that deep end. There's so much depth to every person. What are your joys and sorrows? What's your heart's desire? What sets you on fire? What are your fears for tomorrow? Playing in the shallow end is common, the safe zone, but in the deep end there's so much more in every person to be known. So what's holding us back? Maybe we've got sarcastic floaties that won't let us dive deep because jokes are comfortable and they aren't serious. Or are they? Maybe we've made the media our mommy. She says, stay shallow, it's safe. She says it's all about how you appear, your popularity with your peers. Don't go to the deep end, that's off limits. Well, I'm not gonna listen. I'm swimming on a mission to the deep end. So, how are you really doing? Last year I had a gnarly black eye. Everyone stopped as I passed by. They stopped and asked why, what happened, are you fine? 5, 10, 20 people a day would stop and say, Mark, are you okay? I'd say I'm good, it doesn't hurt, but thank you so much for your concern. The love and compassion lifted my spirit, and it made me wonder, if we saw black eyes and bruises on people's hearts, would we be more loving to one another? If we wore heart-colored glasses and looked into the soul, I think we'd live with more compassion, and with our words, we'd be more careful. If we saw bruises on friends' hearts, past a smiling facade, I think we'd realize that very often, our hearts hurt a lot. So let's adjust our focus, zoom in past appearance. Then maybe we notice our friend's heart and their spirit. See, Jesus, he taught about the Good Samaritan who stopped when everyone passed by, the hurting man on the side of the road, alone, left to die. So will we notice, will we stop and say, how are you really doing? Because sometimes I'm fine, but sometimes I find that I am that man on the side of the road dying inside. Sometimes in the class it's hard to focus, because inside my heart is broken. Concerned for my family missing a girl, or just angry at injustice in this world. At times I feel doubtful, hurt, and lonely. I just want a friend to care for and know me. And our culture creates superficial emphasis on external things we need, but I deeply hunger for honesty and authenticity. When I look at Jesus, he exemplifies being real and deep. He discerned humility from pride, truth from a lie, and see inside the heart so people have nothing to hide. Jesus reminds us that it's not how we appear, but the heart that matters. So let's try to know one another deeper and start a new pattern. Yeah, I know we're all busy and have lots of things to do, but how about just once a day let's stop and ask truly, how are you? Because being real about how we're feeling is a first step toward healing. So let's open up to a friend, stop needing to pretend. Because Jesus commanded us to love one another as he first loved us. And he cared for the heart, so let's do our part and start looking deeper. Thanks.